But we will have 4 speakers today, probably about 10 minutes each, tell some of their experiences. And first of all, our first speaker will be Bill Eisemann. Now, Bill, he was a navigator in I think it was the 446 back in World War II. And he's got a story to tell, but a little bit more about Bill. He was a navigator during World War II, but he later became a pilot, and he served in both the Korean and the Vietnam War. And I think he put in 26 years in the Air Force, and retired and then worked for TRW for, I think, 12 to 15 years. So, Bill, if you'll come up, have at it and tell your story. Where's Bill?
Right here.
Okay, Bill, here you go.
At my age, it takes a while to get everything. Oh yeah, it'd be helpful if I, spoke in the damn darn mic. Our journey begins in late 1944 when the crew came together in Tucson, Arizona. There was an airfield there called Davis-Monthan. Our pilot was the oldest of the crew, and he was 21. Pardon me, he was 21 plus 6 months. The tail gunner was the youngest, and he was at 18, and our navigator, yours truly, was 21 and 2 months. You know, it's hard to believe that at one time I was 21 and 2 months. The most significant thing that I can recall about our training at Davis-Monthan was my pilot's fascination with the radio compass. And the radio compass is an instrument that if you tune it into a station on the ground and where the needle points, you point the aircraft in that direction, and eventually, hopefully, you will get to that particular station. Now, as a navigator, I was supposed to give headings to the pilot to get us where we were going, and the pilot was always checking our positions with the radio compass whenever possible. At first, I thought that, well, that's what they teach the guys, the pilots in flying school. And after a few training flights, I thought, I give up. I don't care. As long as we get to where we need to go. Our crew, pardon me, our crew was passed through Bradley Airfield in Massachusetts on the way overseas, and then we went from there to board the Aquitania, which was a luxury ship. And we walked up the gangplank, and I looked immediately that the luxury part was missing on that ship. Keep it clean. On board, it was immediately evident that RHIP, that means rank has its privileges. And so the officers were on one level, and the crew was on another level, and the poor guys the stripes and didn't have stripes were privates. They were down on the hole. But generally, you get the idea that there was discrimination. Right down the line. Probably the majority of the pilot or the Second Air Division people here, they probably flew their airplane over, or they delivered another airplane to England. My thoughts were that you know, they must really be in a hurry for us, for replacement crews, if we have to go by a ship with 5 or 6 days. But our crew was assigned to the 446th Bomb Group, 704th Squadron, and I remember the welcoming aboard briefing was concluded with the statement that the group had flown over 200 missions and counting, and the major, or the lieutenant colonel that was briefing, that's where he stopped. And I thought, well, what the hell, he's, you know, what the heck? Why did you, you know, what was the point he was trying to make? And I thought, well, you know, I'm not counting, and next week the crew will be start counting their missions. It's probably appropriate at this point for to point out to the guests in the audience that the heavy lifting, and by heavy lifting I mean the deaths, the wounded, the missing in action, the airplanes lost in over there were, pardon me, those losses occurred during 1943 and through late 44. So that when we got there in January of 45, there wasn't that much. We lost airplanes, but no, the fellows that were over there in 43 and, like I say, in 44, they took the brunt of the losses in life and limb and in airplanes.